Okay, so as we saw, to write something off means to kind of stop considering something, to stop thinking about it because you no longer believe it's worthwhile. It's like, that's kind of useless, or that's not going to work. You know, I'm just going to write that off. I think it almost means like if you were writing, you'd put a line through it.
Right.
Kind of like write it, no, done. Gone.
Exactly. It's no longer considered a choice or an option. No, actually, A is the correct answer.
Yes.
That's why you shouldn't write it off. Those holes are there to save lives.
Wow.
To find out how, let's keep reading. It says one of the hole's functions is to regulate air pressure. Interesting. Okay, well, air pressure is sort of the weight of all the air that presses down on you. It's the reason your ears might pop as you go up and down in an elevator or an airplane or something like that. But sometimes when your ears have that pain in the airplane or going up a tall building, you might yawn or open your jaw to pop your ears. What are you doing there? You are regulating the air pressure inside the spaces in your head. To regulate something basically means to control it. It's a verb. It's spelled R-E-G-U-L-A-T-E, to regulate. Often on machines that have heat, like a stove or something that we use to boil water, or a heater in your home. You can regulate the temperature. You can change it very, very carefully from just 1 degree to another by using a switch or by pressing a few buttons. You don't want to just turn on the heater and make your house too hot and then have to open the window and then it gets too cold. No, we have these machines with little controls that we can use to regulate. And our bodies regulate our temperature by sweating or by shivering when we're cold. For example, our body can regulate our body temperature to cool us down when we're too hot or to warm us up when we're cold. You shiver, put on
the blood comes to your skin and that sort of stuff. Now this is related to the noun regulation, and a regulation is a particular rule, but regulation as a noun can also mean the process or activity of controlling things.
Control.
Okay,
it's all about control.
That's right.
So controlling air pressure in the pen.
Now there's a good reason, well, several good reasons for this. The first is this stops the pen's ink from drying out. Too much air, it would just dry out. So they kind of stop the air from coming in and the pen's ink doesn't dry out. Okay. That's one good reason.
That's not saving anyone's...
We've got a better reason.
Oh.
Yeah, however, the hole serves another surprising purpose. To reduce the risk of choking deaths. There you go. So to explain this, we need to look at a few words in that sentence. The first is risk, R-I-S-K, risk. Here we're using it as a noun, reduce the risk. It could also be a verb, to risk something. As a noun, risk means the possibility that something bad will happen. So to reduce the risk of something means to reduce the possibility, reduce the chance that something will go wrong.
The danger.
Yes, for example, we could say if we don't book a table at that restaurant, there is a risk we won't get one at all. A risk, a chance something bad will happen. It's related to the adjective risky, which has R-I-S-K-Y. And risky just means a bit dangerous. There's a chance of something happening. Here, we're reducing the risk of choking.
That's right. To choke, this verb is spelled C-H-O-K-E, choke. And to choke is to basically not be able to breathe because something is blocking your throat. It's blocking this passage, this tube that the air goes through into your lungs. If you eat your food too fast, you might be choking. If you do up your tie too tight, you might be choking as well. It's very, very dangerous. If you can fix it yourself, that's not really too bad. But yeah, sometimes people do swallow too much food. The food kind of gets stuck halfway down and they start making noises like that, and you have to come around and give them the Heimlich maneuver or hit them on the back or something like that, and hopefully the choking will stop. The thing that's blocking the air will get moved in or out and they'll be able to breathe normally again, because choking can be very dangerous. For example, we could say, I drank too quickly, drinking too fast, and started choking as the water went down the wrong pipe. Yeah, there's two pipes there. One goes to your stomach, that's where you want the water to go. The other goes to your lungs, where the air should go. You don't want to get those mixed up.
Exactly. Now, it is common for people to chew on their pen caps.
Oh, I was thinking about like little kids, little babies might find it. But
yes,
people do chew on the pen caps.
Yeah, the verb chew is spelled C-H-E-W, chew, and it's to bite something and kind of work at it with your teeth for a period of time. Now, sometimes we do this to make food easier to swallow, but sometimes we just chew stuff because it feels kind of good. It's comfortable. It's a comforting feeling.
They chew the end of their pen.
Yeah. So a baby, for example, a baby might like to pick things up and chew on them for a while. It's kind of how they find out about stuff. They just,
That's right. But it can be very dangerous. All right. And while chewing on your pen cap might make your pen a little gross and people won't want to borrow it, it shouldn't be too bad. But this can lead to someone accidentally swallowing one of these pen caps and then getting it stuck in their windpipe. And that's when the risk of choking or the danger of choking will become very, very serious. When something leads to something else, this verb basically means it causes something else. A happens, and then because of A, B happens, all right? For example, if you forget your keys at home in the morning, this could lead to you being locked out of your house. If someone is home when you come back, no problem. But if no one's there, now you're locked out. Because you forgot your keys, it caused something else. Because you're chewing on your pen, it could cause you to swallow it, and that could cause you to have a choking problem. Very, very dangerous. Now, of course, I don't imagine there are people out there chewing their pen caps who want to swallow the pen cap. It's not delicious. It's not good food. No one wants to choke. So this would happen by accident.
Yes, right? Or in fact, accidentally, which is the word we used in the article. It's spelled A-C-C-I-D-E-N-T-A-L-L-Y. That L-Y gives away it's an adverb, okay? It's talking about how something happens, okay? Here we're describing an action that is not done on purpose. You do it without meaning to do it. You didn't think, I'm going to do that. It just happened accidentally. For example, I accidentally spilled coffee all over my book. I didn't want to cover my book in coffee. I just knocked it without thinking, without meaning to. It's related to the adjective accidental. You know, it was an accidental thing, you know, an accidental mistake. I didn't mean to go and do it. It just happened.
That's right. And if you get something stuck in your windpipe, or if your windpipe is blocked, that probably means you will be choking. The windpipe is right here at the front of your throat. It's a very sensitive and delicate part of your body. That's why we have our head here to kind of protect ourselves if you get hit there or fall down or get some kind of injury. The medical term for you doctors out there is the trachea.
Yes.
All right. This is the tube for the air, not for the food, for the air that goes from your mouth and nose down into your lungs. The trachea or the windpipe. It's the pipe for wind or for air.
Yeah. Now, the article then says, in fact, roughly 100 people in the US die each year from choking on pen caps. Now, remember that stat at the start? How many people die from lightning?
Half that number.
50.
50.
50 people from lightning, 100 people from pen caps.
And again, that's
Isn't that crazy?
That's the number of people who die, not the number of people who might have an accident, even go to the hospital, but who actually die from chewing on a pen
caps
cap.
are more dangerous than lightning.
Wow.
Who knew?
And I know like 3 people get killed by bears in all of North America.
But we're scared of bears.
So
we're not scared of pen caps.
30 times more dangerous.
Crazy.
That's why they don't sell bears in stationery stores.
That makes sense. Now there we use the phrase, the adverb, roughly. It's another adverb, R-O-U-G-H-L-Y, roughly. And we use roughly when we're kind of guessing at a number or an amount. We're giving an approximate idea. We're saying it's about this. So we don't know the exact answer, or the exact answer isn't important. Maybe we want the nearest big number. So we say roughly 50, means about 50. Roughly 100, so maybe 98, 99, or 102. We just say roughly 100 because it's an easier number to get.
And so the exact number isn't that important?
Not particularly.
So if it's 98 people or 105 people,
it's about about 100.
It's around 100.
Okay, we could also say, I have roughly 2,000 NT in my wallet right now.
Really?
Could be a bit more, could be a bit less. I haven't counted all the coins. It's about 2,000.
Can I borrow 1,000?
Yes, you can.
Thanks.
Okay, it's related to the adjective rough. Okay, here when we use rough related to roughly, it just kind of means you're making a rough guess, like about that number. Okay, there's a rough guess. There's about 30 people upstairs.
Okay,
something like that.
Okay, back in the article it says this number, 100 people being killed by chewing and choking on pen caps. Well, this number, 100, used to be much higher before pen company Bic added a larger hole to the top of its pen cap. So when they had a smaller hole or no hole, maybe it was 150 or 200 people were killed in America each year by choking on their pen caps. We know this is in the past. The new number is 100, but the old number was 200, maybe even more than that in the past, because we use this phrase used to. It used to be much higher. When we say something used to be a certain way, that's showing that it's changed from the past to the present. Something has changed. That was the old situation, but the situation now is a little bit different. And we can use it in the same way to show that things haven't changed. It didn't used to be something like that. So we can also say it with a negative in front of it. It didn't used to. So back in the old days, that was not true, but these days, it is true. For example, we didn't used to book our airplane tickets on the computer. We would buy them from the airplane company directly. So we didn't do it that way, but now we do it that way in the present.
So they put a bigger hole.
They put a bigger hole and it saved lives.
Yep, and this simple design change is meant to help a person breathe if they find themselves in that situation with a pen cap in their windpipe.
Interesting.
We saw another phrase there, be meant to do something. Okay, something is meant to do something. And then we use this phrase to give a reason or to explain the purpose of something. You know, this is meant to do this. A helmet is meant to protect you when you're riding your motorbike. Something. A seatbelt is meant to protect you if you're in a car accident. So it's talking about the purpose, why it's there, what its job is.
Very, very interesting. In fact, it says these days the hole on the top of a pen cap is part of U.S. safety standards. Wow, so it's not just Bic that's doing this. Maybe Bic was the first company, but the U.S. government said that's a good idea. Now, all pens that are sold in America have to have the same kind of hole. So even if you're making pens here in Taiwan, if you want to sell them in America, you got to put holes in the top because Americans like to chew pen caps.
Yeah. Okay, so there we saw this phrase, safety standards. This means the kind of rules that everybody has to follow to make something safe. Now, food will have safety standards. You've got to do it this way. You can't use too much of this. People have to wash their hands, that kind of thing. Everything where there's any kind of risk or danger should have safety standards that everybody has to follow, things that everybody must do or must not do to make sure it's safe.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're at the end of the first fun fact for today, so that means it's time for our For You chat question.